You want to be on the council?
Well, you got
Are we at 7 o'clock?
That's Doug Carroll's.
I don't know.
1 minute to.
6:58, but
That's
Why?
Doug's replacement.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Looks like we're starting.
Yeah.
Test. Looks like we're starting a minute early.
That's probably why.
are we ready?
I guess we are ready. Thank you very much. See, I thought I had an extra minute. According to this, I still do.
You're in charge.
Yeah, well, the camera's running, so what the heck. Good evening, and welcome to the City of Hartford Common Council meeting regularly scheduled. This is a regularly scheduled meeting, of course. Prior to this meeting, all proper notices were sent. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask if you'd please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Roll call, Shanna.
The mayor and all alderpersons are present except Alderperson Kohler, who is absent and excused.
Thank you very much. We have before us a unanimous consent agenda.
Move for approval?
Move for approval, President Rosniak, second by Alderperson Turchi.
Motion by Alderperson Rusniak, seconded by Alderperson Turchi to approve the following items on the unanimous consent agenda: the Common Council minutes of March 26, 2024, the recommendation to approve Hartford Pro Painting LLC, Hartford, Wisconsin, to paint seal the exterior walls of the Rec Center Gymnasium for a fee not to exceed $10,250, the recommendation to approve Independence Painting of Jackson, Wisconsin for painting the Signacast Leisure and Therapy pool walls along with sound panels at a fee not to exceed $15,750, and accepting the low bids from Horsham Miller and Wolf Underground to replace the sewer lateral at the fire station. The combined amount of $32,936 is the first phase of this 2024 approved capital project.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second for the unanimous consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Communication, Shanna.
Just a reminder that the next Common Council meeting will not be in 2 weeks. It will be next week, Tuesday, for the organizational meeting.
Thank you very much. I was going to ask our city administrator, I have two proclamations here that I can read during the mayor's report. The first, the Rotary Club, and then I do have a...
You'll only have one proclamation. That's the one for the Rotary Club.
Thank you very much. Just wanted to make sure. Wonderful. Okay. Appearances and citizen comments. We do allow citizens of the city of Hartford to come up and speak to anything that they would like to that would have something germane to the city. All you have to do is come up to our podiums, speak your name and address, and you get 3 glorious minutes. Second call. Oh, please, go ahead. Just pull the microphone down, make sure it's on, please, and your name and address.
Is this where I would talk about the Hartford Square condominium discussion?
You certainly can for 3 glorious minutes.
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you very much to the public.
No, wait. First of all, you have to say your name and address. Thank you.
Marilyn Kranz, 326 Novak Street.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you very much to the Public Works Committee, Public Works Director Daryl Kranz, the City Administrator Steve Volkert, for listening to our pleas for help regarding amending the City Municipal Code, Chapter 23, Section 2304, to include our single-family, individually owned 4-unit buildings to receive garbage collection like all other forms of single-family owners. The recommendation of inclusion in today's Common Council agenda is truly appreciated. Our President, Rich Zulkevich, had an urgent medical issue come up, so he could not be here today, but he asked me to also convey his thanks and appreciation. At the Public Works Committee meeting, Alderperson Carroll expressed concern at the Public Works Committee meeting that he would have to pay for garbage collection for others. But I would like to accentuate that all of our condo units, whether 2-unit buildings or 4-unit buildings, we all pay real estate taxes at the same rate as single-family owners. The nature of our ownership is single-family use, and our deeds list that our units, we own our units. Our real estate taxes in my 4-unit building, we paid $12,000 annually for real estate taxes for our building, because we each pay approximately $3,000 for our 2-bedroom units. Compared to a rental, which we were compared to rentals, but those buildings, their deeds say they own the building, and they can rent out their units. So we just want to be treated like other single-family owners. We've also been paying $14,600 annually for trash collection. And it's becoming very financially burdensome. So, Alderperson Carroll, please don't worry. We are paying our fair share. And thank you for also supporting our cause with your recommendation, even though you initially had concerns. So we hope the Common Council will also listen to our pleas and help us with this financial burden.
Thank you very much. In my 9th year as mayor, I cannot recall one person coming up and actually taking time to say a true thank you to something. So that means a lot to us. Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to speak? Third call. Hearing none, we go to the mayor's report, which is a proclamation recognizing the Rotary Club of Hartford. Whereas the Rotary Club of Hartford, Wisconsin, USA, was sponsored by the Rotary Club of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and whereas the charter meeting of the Rotary Club of Hartford, Wisconsin, USA took place on April 24th, 1924, so obviously the 100th anniversary. Whereas the Rotary Club of Hartford has been in continuous active existence since its founding at the charter meeting, and whereas the positive effects of the Rotary Club of Hartford has had on the community are seen everywhere. And whereas the Rotary Club of Hartford has also had positive effects internationally in many countries and in many ways. And whereas a particular focus on benefits for youth, including scholarships, Student of the Month, foreign exchange, inbound and outbound, has affected thousands of young people over the years. And whereas the Rotary Club of Hartford has sponsored new Rotary clubs in West Bend, Horicon, and Menominee Falls. And therefore, we congratulate the Rotary Club of Hartford, Wisconsin, USA on their 100th anniversary and wish them another 100 years of service above self. Be it known by all that I, Timothy C. Mahalik, Mayor of the City of Hartford, on behalf of the entire Hartford City Council, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2024 to be observed with pride as Rotary Club of Hartford Day. So, thank you very much. Just wanted to appreciate their work. And with that, we go on to aldermanic requests. President Rosniak.
Nothing tonight, sir?
President Carroll.
I guess I'd like to correct something. I did not say I was mad at you guys for paying. I was mad at the city for allowing the developer to put 4 families in there instead of 3 families. So that was where I was coming from. Because if we would have put 3 families in there, you wouldn't have been in this situation. We wouldn't have had to do this. So I would like to correct that, and then I'd like to say thanks to the voters in the 2nd District for trusting me for 9 years, and see you later.
But what meeting did they get to see you at?
Well, I'm just, I got off because
Oh, I
my,
understand.
my school board meetings, which I'm not part of,
All right.
but because I work for the school, I'm required to be there.
So if you want to see him, you go to a school board meeting. I just wanted to
I
get
just
that
sit
out
there,
there.
though. I don't say much, so.
Okay, thank you very much. Alderperson Reagan.
Just want to share my quick overview of the Mid-Moraine Municipal Association dinner meeting that took place on March 27th at the Legion Hall in Cedarburg. City of Hartford had 6 people in attendance. The featured speaker was Tony Herkert, Director of Government Affairs with the League of Wisconsin Municipalities. The topic, end of session legislative update. Her aim was to review the bills and topics either in front of or being presented to the legislature that impact cities and villages in Wisconsin. She has a firm grasp on her subject matter and attempted to be as thorough as possible in the time she was allotted. This proved to be a difficult task as she touched on 18 bills. FYI, the legislature entertained over 2,000 total bills over the so overall, it was a very informative presentation, but a bit ambitious to complete at a dinner meeting.
Thank you very much.
We got home very late.
Yes, we did. We got home very late, you bet. Alderperson Garza.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Turchy.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Webb.
My understanding is that the Centennial Park grand opening is on May 3rd, and I would encourage everybody to go to that to see the improvements and for the ribbon cutting ceremony. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderperson Fulop.
Nothing tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Alderperson Savage.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. With that, we have standing committee reports, finance and personnel. President Rusniak.
One item tonight, discussion and consideration to authorize the appropriate city officials to increase patrol staff from 27 to 28 sworn staff and to fill the anticipated vacant patrol officer position on or after April 1st, 2024. Chief McFarland is with us. Chief?
Thank you. Reader's Digest version. We had, one of our officers came off shift to work with a multi-jurisdictional drug unit in Washington County. This would have been almost 3 years ago now. That's been a huge success for us and directed a lot of those resources back to Hartford where I feel they belong. We've done a lot of drug interdictions. I was just on one 2 weeks ago with them here in the city of Hartford, where we made an arrest of an individual who was carrying crack cocaine to a sale to somebody here in the city. Unfortunately for him, it was an undercover. With dispatch going, it afforded us the ability to do things like backfill this person's position in order to make this a more permanent thing for us so that we can continue our good work with this drug unit. So I would be asking to increase staff from 27 to 28 sworn. The budget for this, I worked with finance on, Dawn Tim specifically, so we were able to determine that on April 1st or after we'd be able to hire this person, and the funds for that would be budgeted already. So there's no increase as far as that is concerned.
Questions or comments for the chief? Justin?
Sounds great.
Anybody else? Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Would look for a motion to approve. Alderperson Webb, second by Alderperson Garza.
Motion by Alderperson Webb, seconded by Alderperson Garza, authorizing the appropriate city officials to increase patrol staff from 27 to 28 sworn staff and to fill the anticipated vacant patrol officer position on or after April 1st, 2024, subject to all pre-hire conditions.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Next, we have Public Works. That's Alderperson Fulop. No?
Hold on.
Shoot it to him. The top
Yeah,
one.
I got it here. I just went on a different page. No worries. So we have discussion and consideration to change the municipal code, Chapter 3, Section 2301, to read that the City of Hartford will pick up all owner-occupied four-family units who have their own tax key number to be part of the garbage pickup services provided by the City of Hartford beginning January 1st, 2025. And we have Daryl here to discuss.
Good evening. First of all, the lady that spoke is not related to me.
It's Kranz, but it's not, we're not related, so.
Thanks, good for her.
I didn't pay her to come up
Yeah, I
here
was
and
just- I thought-
compliment us, so.
I figured you owed her money or something, right?
Hartford Square too, a while back, came with a letter and requested that we take a look at, again, taking owner-occupied four-family units, which we do not pick right now in the city of Hartford. If they have their tax key number and they're privately owned, to put them on the garbage list to be picked up as of January 1st of 2025. Years back, there was a lot more apartment buildings than four-family condos. And again, we do feel it's the right time to do this. With the tax key number, they all do pay their share of taxes, where, again, apartment buildings, they may too, but it's more of a profit for businesses. So as of the first of the year, we would add them onto our account with GFL, and we go from there.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works, all was unanimous in approving this moving forward.
Wonderful, thank you.
Back to you.
No, he,
Oh, go ahead.
Just good compromise, good way to compromise on this thing, I think. I think that ordinance probably was written many, many years ago when we had four-family apartments. Nobody thought of four-family condos at that time. I don't even know if there were condos when it was written. How far back does that ordinance go?
if that's Dennis Hagee.
Quite a while
Dennis
ago.
Hagee's not here. Dean Curley is here. He
It
would
was
know.
brought up years ago to do this, but again, I don't think there was the support back by council at that time to do it. But again, Hartford Square too, for example, they do have 22 four-family units. 88 units is what they're doing.
But years ago, four-family meant apartments.
Apartments, exactly.
Now it's got a whole new meaning.
Any other comments? Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to ask the obvious questions. It was probably figured out. I'm surprised it wasn't asked. It's the cost to the city, and I'm not saying this in any way to dissuade anybody's vote. I support this move. But just so we know what we're looking at.
When I do my budget, it's right on the sheet there. When I do my budget, we'll add that in and it goes onto the tax roll. Recycling is on your utility roll already, but it'd be an extra $14,446 a year at this year's cost. Next year, garbage usually goes up about 30 cents a stop more a year.
Okay.
So it'll be a little bit more, but it would be added onto my budget, which this year it is not.
Right. Okay, just wanted to make sure that got announced. Okay, super, thank you very much. With that, would look for a motion to approve. We'll let Doug and Joe Fulham.
Motion by Alderperson Carroll, seconded by Alderperson Fulop, authorizing appropriate city officials to change the municipal code, Chapter 23, Section 23.04, to read that the city of Hartford will pick up all owner-occupied four-family units who have their own tax key number to be part of the garbage pickup services provided by the city of Hartford beginning on January 1st, 2025.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. At this time, we go to resolutions and possible action. Number 10, Resolution 3670, authorizing the issuance and sale of $5,265,000 general obligation promissory notes, Series 2024A. Can't wait to see what my percentage is.
Thanks, Steve. Mayor, council members, thank you very much. It's always an honor to be here. Really appreciate your time. Certainly want to thank, we've had a bit of transition, as you know. Dawn Tim, who I've worked with for many, many years, has decided to retire. Of course, we have Geraldine, who did a wonderful job. Congratulations to the city on securing that excellent AA2 rating. It was seamless, but of course, we have Volkert, and he's seamless. That guy's as smooth as silk. I wish I could meet him someday. I'd love to shake his hand. He did an excellent job in terms of that. We were all prepared and ready to go. It was one of the smoothest rating calls I've had, and you're to be congratulated, of course, as a city. We kind of shine in terms of not only this county, but throughout the state in terms of having that AA2. And we're relatively small when you look at comparable AA2s throughout the United States, which means that I think we shine a little more like a diamond than other people do, and I'm very happy to brag about this community. I saw an old friend of mine back there, Mr. Dean Curley, who was mayor at one time, and we started with Quadrafix way back when and went through a lot of things with the city in terms of
propelling and making this city even a more attractive credit in the credit markets. So you're to be commended for keeping that going, and I'm certainly happy to be a small part of it. So thank you for having me here tonight. We do have our, is it I never know if it's biannual. Is that the way? Every 2 years, we borrow for our CAP. Tonight, we're actually entertaining rates. You should have a one-page handout in front of you. I think I was able to count correctly and put one on everybody's desk. And you'll see the highlights here in terms of what we had today. We were in the market, actually started tentatively on Friday. Just kind of getting a feel for where the market was. Yesterday, again, talking with certain buyers. Today, we set an order period this morning to give those people a chance to buy our securities on a maturity basis. So we have basically 10 maturities, and you will see that the yields from 27, sorry, we don't have 10 because we didn't start until 27 because we have existing debt in 24 and 25. But you'll see a 319 out to a 319. That's about as flat a yield curve as anybody's going to get. We haven't seen a flat yield curve. We had an inverted yield curve for a while, but we haven't seen a flat yield curve this is the first one I've seen in 42 years in the business. In any case, when you take a look at what we've offered $5 million, as the mayor said, $5,265,000 in par amount. We were able to generate another $359,241 in net premium to the city. So that's an amount of money that will be sent to the city at closing, not only the par amount of $5,265,000, but also that premium will also be sent to the city. The IRS dictates that we use that for interest payments coming up, which is fine for us. We don't have a problem with that. It offsets our debt service. Steve's been very good about maybe prognosticating is not the right word, but at least setting us up in terms of where the city wants to be over time with our borrowings. Because as we said, and as you guys know, with inflation, we're borrowing a little more than we normally do, but projects are a little more expensive. But also the reinvestment side of things is better for us. It wasn't that long ago, probably a year and a half ago, that we were getting 0.25 and 0.5% on our reinvestment. We're getting over 5.2% on our monies right now. So when you look at this source and uses of funds, I'm estimating that in 6 months you should generate 140 grand plus. Considerable. I know you're going to end up with more than that just due to a normal 24-month period of construction. Steve's not going to spend the money the day he gets it. It's going to take time to get these projects done. We're going to have, investment period in time. That's going to reduce our net interest cost, and I'll kind of explain that to you. If you look at basically the center, almost to the bottom of the page, you see the true interest cost, the TIC. When you take into account that we borrowed this money over this period of time at these prices, and we've paid legal expenses, we've paid for our rating, we paid all those things, at a snapshot in time, which will be 2 weeks from now on the closing date, our money costs us 3.64%. Not bad. You're generating $140,000 plus in interest costs. After that period of time, you're actually close to about a 320, the real cost of our money. And once we go through the project, I can tell you, based on what we're going to earn and what we do earn, as to what that real cost of our money was. But worst case scenario, you're at a 364, and I'm pretty certain you're going to be somewhere closer to the 320 mark. So all in all, pretty good, all things considered, in terms of where interest rates have gone over the last 2 years. Notes were well received. We did work them hard in terms of investors. We had some of the maturities that were oversubscribed, meaning we had more buyers than we had bonds, which is a good thing. It allowed us to go back and reprice, which means we increased the price of them. To those people who wanted to stay, let's say that 5 of you wanted to buy these bonds at a certain price. You all put a bid in. We said, no, there's 5 of you. We only have 1. The price just went up. 3 of you stayed in. You understand how that happens? So we actually got a higher price. And that's indicative of that 359,000 plus in terms of your net premium. It basically means that our 2025 interest payments on this debt are totally covered at the day of closing. So, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Again, congratulations. It's fun to go into the market with a AA2 like yours is. And I believe, Steve, we're the highest rated community in Washington County.
I'll be very honest, when I knew this was coming up, as it does on a regular basis, so we get to see your smiling and extraordinarily tanned face,
It's out of a bottle, Mayor. I can get you some.
I was really hoping that we would be able to keep it around 4%. So the fact that we're closer to 3 than to 4, given what I see having happened, especially in the commercial market with interests, I mean, I'm doing my happy dance.
Well, you have an understanding where the markets are, and Steve asked me today, I'm always wanting more than we end up getting, and I was pretty hopeful that maybe some things would happen in the market. It's not that long ago, I just did a AA1 10 days ago for a Wisconsin community, and they were a 374, very similar issue, almost the same par amount, 10-year issue, a little bit higher rated, but we outperformed them due to a number of things, but market being one of them. And you're right, if you understand where the market is, for a while, particularly after January, I thought these 10-year paper, we're going to go to 4%. So I haven't seen 4% in 12 years. But we're going to be much closer to that 320 when all is said and done.
Super, thank you. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Well, if not, we would look for a motion on Resolution 3670, authorizing the issuance and sale of the $5,265,000 general obligation promissory note. Alderperson Turkey, second by Alderperson Savage.
Motion by Alderperson Turkey, seconded by Alderperson Savage for the adoption of proposed resolution number 3670.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. We are on to item 10B. Oh, anybody, you all set? Thank you very much, appreciate it. Resolution 3672, a resolution to accept funds from the Washington County Municipal Radio Grant Program. And I'm assuming that we have Chief McFarland to handle that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We are currently replacing the security system or upgrading it. The security system that monitors a few locations within City Hall and within the police department. The backbone of this system that we're looking at is a mobile radio. I misspoke at the committee meeting. It was actually February that I had heard about a grant that the county was offering. Went to one of the public safety meetings, understood what I needed to do to apply for the grant and did so. The grant was awarded to us in March, and there's a process that we need to go through. We're about halfway there. This particular resolution is part of that process in adopting the resolution to accept the funds for that grant.
Okay. Any questions for the chief? Hearing none, we would look for a motion to go ahead with accepting the funds for Washington County Municipal Radio Grant Program. We have Alderperson Fulop, second by Alderperson Reagan.
Motion by Alderperson Fulop, seconded by Alderperson Reagan for the adoption of proposed resolution number 3672.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Next, we have resolution number 3673, resolution authorizing the sale of 60.59 acres of land, tax key numbers, and I will read them off, 36-1801-003-004 and 36-1804-002-015 to WLC LLC. There is, of course, the executive summary attached, and please know that this was okayed by a unanimous vote of the Hartford Plan Commission yesterday, and was also, we went through the joint Plan Commission with the town of Hartford, so we have all of those things covered. Steve?
I'll start with this. So again, this is for 60.59 acres of land, again, currently located in the one of the industrial parks. This is for the future development of housing, multifamily, single family, and the mix in between. We've looked at this property in the past. This is not only a project that basically will help with the housing shortage, which everyone's been talking about for the last few years, it'll also be a situation in which we'll be allowed the finances to be able to pay for the road that will connect the two parcels together, basically. The road, Innovation Way, ends at basically just after Signacast. And this will extend that road, which will also open additional opportunities for development within that area. And Jacob, can I talk more about the exact details of the purchaser of it and, again, the intended use?
All right. Basco Development is the purchaser of the property. Again, in 2009, the HADC purchased this property. The city has held it in trust for the city. That's why it's in front of you as the owners of the land. To move forward, you have to approve this sale of the land. The profits go, the $1,440,000 go to the HADC, which originally, again, purchased the property. The property was, we amended the comprehensive plan a couple years back to allow for residential to rezone to MXD, which allows for mixed residential developments, as well as other commercial developments as a possibility. But for the most part, it allows single-family, multifamily type of development here. Boisa or Basco Development is looking to do mostly multifamily themselves. They'll do some single-family development as well, and then maybe look at working with another developer to develop single-family homes. But for the most part, it's all on their own funding. They're not looking for external funding from the county or any other individual agencies within the state. It's all on Basco Development.
Now, just as an understanding that this will, there'll be a couple processes to this. So first is the acceptance of the offer to purchase. There'll be contingencies involved regarding a creation of a TID, which we knew was going to happen. The creation of a TID not only helps to support the developer with their development due to the lack or the gap, as it's called, but it will also help the city pay for any infrastructure that we need to put in to not only serve this area, but also additional acreages around there. So the future will include, again, if this gets approved, there'll be a developer's agreement that comes in after this for approval, and then the TID agreement, which will get approved, again, through a multifaceted approach that has to take place to approve the TID. But again, this is all allowed because the TID is allowed because this is how we will help fund our costs of the infrastructure that will go into the development of this property.
In the unanimous vote, I just wanted to make sure, and I do have a witness with our city planner here, so Jacob Moss can back me up, that Joe Kohler did say that he was in favor of this, but would not be here to vote on it. But he did say.
Correct. He said he was in favor of this development. He did express, Dave Paquette did acknowledge that it is next to the sanitary or the wastewater treatment plant, and that there could be odor issues, which the developer is well aware of. So again, it was agreed upon that this was a good move forward.
Right. The developer is, who's looking to purchase this is going in with eyes wide open, realizing that it is close to the water treatment plant and the water issue, excuse me, which is what Joe Kohler brought up. So again, eyes wide open, they realize that there are some things that'll have to be dealt with, and there was a discussion of a TID both in the Plan Commission meeting and the joint plan meeting. So everybody knows what we're talking about and the efforts that it'll take to move forward on this. So just wanted to make sure that everything is above board and everybody knows what's moving forward. So with that, any other questions, comments? Go ahead, Alderperson Webb.
So you said there's contingencies in the, like, purchase agreement. Are there any contingencies, like, if this is not developed? Like, or is this like, we sell the land and it's theirs forever, even if they don't develop it?
It depends upon, in this situation, the contingency would be they have to develop a certain, within the developer's agreement, have to develop, a certain amount before the TID funds would be available to them. So yes.
So is the signing of a development agreement part of the contingency?
Yes.
And does that development agreement come back before the council, or is that something?
Yes. So like I said, there's two more processes you'll have to go through. The development agreement will have to be approved, and then the TID agreement.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? If not, I would look for a motion for Resolution 3673, authorizing the sale of the 60.59 acres of land. Alderperson Turchy, Alderperson Savage.
Motion by Alderperson Turchy, seconded by Alderperson Savage for the adoption of proposed resolution 3673.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Super, thank you. And we do not have any ordinances. The next thing is the city administrator's report, but before we do that, real quick, I did want to mention, because I had it jotted down, but after our 100th anniversary deal for the Rotary, I'd forgot to mention that this is National Library Week. And I did have a nice discussion with Vanessa Taylor, our new librarian, and she sent me some information. Because it's National Library Week, please make an effort, if you can, to stop by our wonderful library. And they're having some fun items here to celebrate the National Library Week, which is a Plinko board event. With a certain number of checkouts from the library, you get one drop. It should be fun. They are giving away prizes, and they're also going to have a Friend of the Library book sale during the week. So please make sure you stop in, say hi, and welcome again to our new librarian, Vanessa, who's doing a wonderful job so far, nothing but glowing reports, and celebrate National Library Week at our wonderful library. So, wanted to make sure to mention that. And with that, we go to Steve Okert, our city administrator, for his report.
Item number one is discussion and consideration of authorizing appropriate city officials to reallocate funds totaling $49,500 for the Signacast indoor pool stair tower replacement in order to complete the removal of the concrete stair tower and construction of a new metal-based stair tower. And to talk more about that is our Park and Rec Director, Randy Watoshik.
So this was a 24 CIP, originally budgeted for $75,000. We had one bid come in at $135,000. The reasons for the price differences, we struggled to get a firm number from Ramaker, who did the study plan on the staircase back last year. So $75,000 was our best guesstimate at the time. I think that was a fair estimate. Now we found with the timing of the construction, this would be part of our August shutdown. Many contractors are busy during the summer. They would prefer this work to be done during the winter. For us to shut down during the winter, that's our busy time for revenue and for the pool to be open to the public. I did some research with WPRA, Wisconsin Park and Rec Association, to research other contractors. And as I explained to finance prior to this meeting, it's really not an aquatics project. It is a construction project, which circles back to the timing of contractors not doing outside projects. And again, it's not an attractive project to them. So we did get one contractor, A&N Contracting out of Hartford, that submitted a bid. The other part of the raise in the fee was they want to remove the slide and then have it reset up. They wanted it taken down during demo of the old staircase, if you would, so it wouldn't damage the slide. So I was able to go out and find another contractor, the one that actually installed our play feature last year, and they're able to do the work for $10,000 less. So anyway, the reallocated funds would come from 25 purchases of a park van and a park truck. So we'd push those projects off to future years, probably 26. And with the 2-year borrowing cycle, obviously that money would be available to us. So the total of the project would be $124,500 with the $10,000 deduction, and we're looking for approval.
I do have a question. When you went to the other company, did you let them know how much we were paying, giving them a bit of an advantage? Because you said that the first one.
I did not.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because if you're, it sounded like you're going from a company that's based in Hartford to a different company for $10,000, and I can understand that. I just wanted to make sure that, we're looking at a level playing field. That one didn't have an advantage. Otherwise, we could go back to the local. I mean,
Correct.
if you, and then say, hey, they came in $10,000 less, but I let them know what you were going to pay.
Sure.
Well, okay.
A&N Construction, or Contracting, actually got Safe Slides out of Missouri, who's also done some work for us with their number. And I was able to contact Fisher, gave them the same work. They had no idea what the budget number was.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was very clear, so anybody looking at this
Sure.
would see that, we're not playing games, we're not trying to go around, we're trying to stay as even as possible. So thank you for that, I appreciate it.
Understood.
Can you-
Yes, go ahead, Alderperson Fulop. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead, Joe.
Do we publish our CIP budget for that particular item as part of a city budget declaration?
Was the original item in the CIP budget? Yes.
Okay, so it was public, right?
What's that?
It was public. It's posted on the web?
You wanted to know if the $75,000
Yes.
was exposed to the bidders
Yes.
prior to?
It would be available to the bidders, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's what, was that your question, Mayor?
I mean,
or-
if
No. I was trying to clarify what you were saying to them,
Okay.
because mine was, once we had that one bid, Randy went out to see if, because that was so much higher,
Yeah.
and he managed to get it $10,000 less. I wanted to make sure that 124, whatever was the high bid, wasn't exposed to somebody, hey, can you do
Got it.
better than this?
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, we don't play that game.
I misunderstood that, because
Okay, no.
I thought the 75K is always public as
Yes,
part
it
of our
is.
budgetary, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Thank you.
Okay,
It-
go ahead.
Sorry to distract.
No worries. Alderperson Webb.
Can you help me understand, like, at the top of the proposal, it says for installation of sanitary sewer, water main, storm sewer, curb and gutter, sidewalk and asphalt, and other miscellaneous construction?
I think you're looking at
Looking
the,
at the fire department thing.
Well,
Right, that's it.
Yep.
Isn't that directly below this proposal?
No, I noticed that as well. It's the executive summary printout doesn't align with, there's pages that are misaligned.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, I noticed the same, sorry.
And just to clarify one thing, it's still A&N Contracting. They were subcontracting out the work to remove the slide and reinstall it. And Fisher Brothers is the contractor I had reached out to on their behalf.
Okay.
So it's still A&N Contracting, but they were going to contract out that work, subcontract.
So we're looking at number one then, Steve. right?
number one first, then you'll go into number two.
Perfect, okay, just wanted to make sure. Any other?
So the first action is to move the money from one part of the budget, which was again for vehicles, and move that over so that, number two, you can pay for the 124,500 for the replacement of stairway.
Yep. Turkey, I think. Okay. Jeff. Oh, Jeff, go ahead, please.
Motion to approve.
Oh, yeah, I was just, I got
Any other
to wait for him to
questions?
hand it back to me, so.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Any
I
other
don't know.
questions? If not, Mayor?
Thank you very much. Motion for?
Motion for approval.
And second by Joe Fuller.
Motion by Alderperson Turchi, seconded by Alderperson Fulop, authorizing appropriate city officials to reallocate funds totaling $49,500 for the Signacast indoor pool stair tower replacement in order to complete removal of the concrete stair tower and construction of a new metal-based stair tower.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Hearing none, this is again on item number 1. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Steve?
Item number 2 is now the discussion of consideration of accepting the quote from a and N Contracting LLC for $124,500 for the replacement of the stairway leading to the slide in the Signacast Indoor Aquatic Center. Again, we just got the details on that. Yes, Alderperson Webb.
I'm going to re-raise what I said. It says that in the proposal, and then it says it'll be officially known as the center slide tower replacement. So, and it has a dollar amount of $124,500. So I do think it's actually the proposal. So maybe we want to like fix that so it doesn't say that they're installing like sanitary sewer, water main, storm sewer.
Maybe we could get them to throw that in at that price.
What page are you on?
It's the page that says proposal.
I printed mine came out good.
On the side, does this have a page number?
83.
If you look at the top, it should be like page something of 108.
83.
83, thank you.
It doesn't have a page.
83.
Okay, we'll need to switch that.
Thank you for catching that.
Yes,
There's obviously a cut and paste on their behalf, and we didn't
There's some
catch
other
that.
juggling in the document, because when you
Yeah.
look down the
Yeah,
sequence,
it's-
something got strange.
They're gonna pay us $200?
Discombobulated. I thought it actually affected 2 pages, so you want to look at
Yeah.
the second page as well.
Let's do
But
it.
again, that's only in this summary.
I got the essence of it, but when you publish it, thanks Alderperson Webb for that clarity.
So that was on the top portion.
Well, I think we know what we're voting on. You can straighten
Yep.
it out.
Yeah.
Any other questions? If not, Mayor?
Thank you. Okay, for accepting the quote from A&N Contracting for $124,500 and the possibility of getting some sewer work done too, it sounds like. Alderperson Turkey, second by Alderperson Webb.
Motion by Alderperson Turkey, seconded by Alderperson Webb, accepting the quote from a and N Contracting LLC for $124,500 for the replacement of the stairway leading to the slide in the Signacast Indoor Aquatic Center.
Thank you. All, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. And for adjournment, Alderperson Savage, Alderperson Webb.
Motion by Alderperson Savage, seconded by Alderperson Webb, to adjourn at 7:47 PM.
Again, for adjournment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you.